Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, depending on where you're at. Um, Again, I'm just going to go ahead and drop a little bit of information, some of the things that I'm learning through my entrepreneurial journey and everything. Um, Something that just kind of popped out recently is in regards to again, going back to transparency. I actually made a YouTube video that I had difficulty uploading the other day, but I wanted to discuss the fact that you don't necessarily need to, put all of your personal business out there in order to be transparent and be authentic. You know what I mean? I realize that in this day and age, a lot of people are utilizing social media in order to leverage their networks or to, um, I don't know, simplify their lives by utilizing these tools so that way they're not. Um, Having to do so much work, like going door to door. You know what I mean? And so when it comes to being able to be truly authentic, being yourself, again, it's so easy to get caught up in comparisons. People start looking at each other's journeys or whatever, and there's oftentimes where you may feel jilted or you may feel like unqualified to deal with certain things or whatnot. But each and every single one of us, by being truly honest, not just with each other but with ourselves, we'll be able to create better relationships with the people that we care about. Um, as far as like networking and as far as like sales go and everything, I'm not necessarily one of those gurus. I obviously haven't made like 7 or 8 figures or anything like that. But one thing that I do know when it comes to reaching success is that as far as being able to hone in and channel the energies that we deal with, again, each and every single one of us is, unless you're dead, unless you're the walking dead, each and every one of us learns how to understand and adapt and connect or tune into certain energies and patterns and relationships and flow or whatever. um, that's why, like I said, I'm not here to sit here and throw a bunch of verses down your throat. I'm not here necessarily to proselytize people. What I think it is, as far as everybody's personal development, each and every single one of us has a unique journey. The problem is oftentimes um, we mistake other people's dysfunction and we kind of take it in as our own. I can only say that as like an empath, you know what I mean? Because it is very, very difficult to create healthy boundaries where people aren't necessarily overstepping or abusing their relationship with you. You know what I mean? Because we've come into a time and age where people are very good at regurgitating or reciting words, but sometimes you realize, getting to know people's character, they don't necessarily have any substance. You know what I mean? Or there's no substance behind those words. Some people just are repeating cliches. You know what I mean? But being, again, going back to being your authentic self, speaking your truth, um, in my personal journey, one of the things that I learned is that the more comfortable that I am becoming in speaking the things that are relevant to my life, to my space, to my entrepreneurial endeavors, the more that I'm able to relate to other people that have dealt with the same thing. You know what I mean? Um, I think the reason that I'm such a good advocate, why I'm better at helping other people to, um, let's just put it this way. Again, just like when it comes to art, I've made this analogy several times before. I have a lot of artistic friends, and that's artistic, not autistic. When you talk about, like, you can more or less make a YouTube video. I could sit here with a canvas. I could show you the different types of acrylic paints that I use. I could show you different watercolors, different color blends and different brush strokes and everything. You could, again, I could have somebody sit there side by side with me, and I could do everything that I possibly can to um, teach them the technique, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they have the vision, because what I see in my mind can't isn't as easy to translate onto canvas as it is onto in your imagination. It isn't as easy to create in your imagination, and when you have outsiders, when you have viewers, when you have connoisseurs come in and examine the work, as much effort as you may apply to getting them to understand the process in which you had in order to create that artwork. Some people really don't understand or value that because they didn't never had their feet in the trenches, if you know what I mean. Again, I know it's a cliche and everything like that, but when it comes to the mindset, we're supposed to be as leaders, as marketers, as social media influencers. We're supposed to have control of the way that we react and respond to different stimuluses, especially negative stimuluses, whether that's like rejection, whether that's dealing with overwhelming odds, dealing with somebody that is difficult to communicate with or handle. you know um, Being able to overcome all of those difficulties, it requires a specific type of mindset. It requires leading by example rather than just trying to be one of those semantic leaders that sits on the sidelines and just tells everybody what to do. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, I really didn't have any intentions of dragging this out. I was actually trying to make up for the failure to upload the last couple of videos. But needless to say, I hope each and every single one of you had a blessed and a productive week. Talk to you guys soon.